All right, I don't know if I can make this video good enough because I don't use any editing software. I'm going to try flipping the phone around to show you maps and things. But I'm going to give you my review of this Module I3 Pharaoh from the Desert of Desolation series. This is module number 1 of 3. And I bought this module back in the 80s. I've read it on my channel. It's all in a playlist. I'm going to put this at the front so you can start with this review. I'm not pleased with this module at all. Let me try to not get my thoughts scattered here. I'm all right. So this will be the first in the playlist, this video, and then what will follow will be me reading this module and going through it. Now, everything I say in the reading, I end up basically reviewing it as I'm reading it because I was very disappointed in this module. But I thought I should give a review. I'm hoping this will bring more people to watch it. And then if you'd like to watch me read it, feel free. I can do the other modules. I have them here, the Oasis of the White Palm and the Lost Tomb of Martek, which is a really cool cover. I love the cover on Lost Tomb of Martek. I love the Pharaoh one too, and the White Palm. I think they're all very, very cool looking. But this module, I remember liking this module when I got it in the 80s, and I tried running it, and we never finished running it. I don't know what happened, but it looked like such an amazing module. But as I read through it, I was shocked at how bad this is. Now, my rating for this module is about a 4 out of 10, possibly as low as a 3. I don't think so. I think it's a 4 because there are several things in this module that are very good that I liked. But now I'm just going to show you the things that I didn't like, even though I talk about it in my reading of this module. As I come to these things, I was like, wow, what are we doing here? This is the worst module I've ever read. So keep that in mind. But let me show you my main problems with it, and you draw your own conclusions. Okay, so first we have the introduction, which is kind of silly. It's kind of railroading the characters. I didn't have too much of a problem with this. I thought it was meant to be lighthearted, and the idea was that if you're just running this in your first day's gaming session is this module, you have to have a reason for them being there. You could easily change this. This is my least problem with the module. The setup is just there, and I think they kind of maybe they wrote it as a joke. I really don't know. So unless I've gotten something wrong, this is basically the story that the Pharaoh, the guy on the cover, this guy appears before the party and tries to implore them to break into his theft-proof tomb and plunder it to free him. And he's been walking, unless I messed up somewhere, unless I didn't get this right, he's been walking around for 1,000 years, which means his tomb has been around for 1,000 years. So keep that in mind. Now, unless I'm wrong, I don't know how this makes any sense. Oh, and also the desert is kind of small. It's from here to here. I forget how big those hexes are. Someone said that the whole desert is about 60 miles by 100 miles. That's not bad, but it doesn't make sense they describe it like it's this huge desert, and 60 miles by 100 miles would not be a huge desert. So that is odd. But now we have this temple. Okay. And the temple has dwarves, temple random encounters, dwarves, dervishes, bandits, giant rats, dervishes. Who are the dwarves? Where do they come from? The module gives you no information about them at all. Where did the giant rats come from? If the giant rats are inside here, this place has been around for 1,000 years. Did the giant rats just recently end up here? Because there's no way they would be around. The dervishes are fine. The bandits are kind of odd. Why would the dervishes let bandits come in? The dervishes are out here guarding. And from what I understand, they they guard, holy places, and they don't want anybody plundering tombs. That's a big no-no. So I don't know how the bandits could possibly get in. Who are the dwarves? Why are they here? The module says nothing. The Thune dervishes are 4 hit die creatures, but it does say somewhere it's up to 4 hit die. But as you can see here, some of them have only 1 or 2 hit points. That's silly. But okay, no big deal. All right, so then we have this thing where these people are worshiping. This bowl is, I believe, 15 feet off the ground, being held by a giant statue. You have to get in the bowl, and then fire rises up, and then you're teleported into the maze. Now, how exactly these people have seen people go into the bowl. I think they must have, and disappear. I don't know why the party would do it. I'm pretty sure it was 15 feet off the ground. 20-foot tall statue. That doesn't matter. It is however high up it is. But what would make the party go get in that bowl when fire would come up if they put something in the bowl? But it's the only way to get in. So I'm not sure how that works exactly. And they don't really tell you how that would work. This is the only way in, as far as I can see, unless I'm missing something. So now we have this wild maze called Cordon's Master Maze, and the mist that darkened areas that you can see there, it's listed here as mists right here. You can't see in the mist, and when you go around corners, you don't even know that you're going around corners. Somehow you don't know because you can't see. You can only feel. So you can't see anything. But there's wandering monsters in the mist, and some of them are, let's see here. I thought there were, ghouls. So you're going to run into any of these things. You got minotaurs, doppelgangers. There's a wizard walking around in this maze. Now, this place has been here for 1,000 years. Everything in here would be dead except the ghouls, unless they just recently went through that bowl and teleported here, which apparently some of these Thune dervishes did do. How are giant spiders down here? Wouldn't they be dead? Minotaurs? Wouldn't they be dead? There's no way out of this except through certain places here, which if they found the way out, wouldn't they leave? You're trapped in a maze. So I don't know why they put minotaurs in here, because it's not the Minotaur's maze. I don't know why they put them in there. And why is a wizard walking around here by himself? There's no explanation for any of these creatures. It's very, very bizarre. He stumbled in here some time ago looking for magical items. What? So at least they have a little description. But what do you mean he stumbled in here? There's Thune dervishes outside. He would have had to go in through, unless I'm missing something, he has to go through the teleportation thing to get in here. And he's just walking around with all these random encounters, and he doesn't really? And there's cut purses, and there's 10 ghouls. This makes no sense. So here we have what I remember being a really, really fun encounter. Lying on the platform, let me get down to it where you can see it. Lying on the platform is an androsphinx. The Sphinx will ask the party what they're doing here, and it'll ask one question. If the characters can't answer, he will attempt to eat them. You're telling me that an androsphinx is sitting here in this room, L19. Let's go to it. L19, that would be this thing over here, to this water thing. So he just sits in here. Is he immortal? Has this androsphinx been here for 1,000 years? No, nothing's said of it. Not only that, if they can't answer, he will attempt to eat them. An androsphinx is exceptionally intelligent. There are somewhere between 6 and 9 characters of levels 5 to 7. You're telling me an androsphinx would go, I'm just going to eat these people. I might get killed, but yeah, I'll just go for it. I can't. So he's dumb, and somehow he's just sits here and does nothing. This makes no sense. Why not just make this a magical trap with magical runes that give a riddle, and when you answer the riddle, something opens and they can go this way? Why have an Androsphinx in here? This thing has been here for 1,000 years. What am I missing? Maybe I'm missing something. So I'm supposed to believe that wandering monsters that can't see in the mist just somehow bumble into each other, but they can't see anything when they stumble into each other, and they're all just walking around in here. Sure, okay. So then we have Halls of the Upper Priesthood, which is, oh yeah, that's this. That's this whole wild looking thing. And there's the thing from the Androsphinx up into here. So this place is next to explore. And here we have more wandering monsters. How did they get here? There's a knight. A knight is not a character in D&D. A knight is a character in Castles and Crusades. I consider it an NPC though. But there's also a cleric. So these two are walking around. There's no explanation for how they got here, what they're doing here. And I don't know why there's a knight. There's also a female paladin in one of these rooms right here, L47, and she's in a battle with 8 ghouls. She's dead. All they got to do is paralyze her, and she's dead. How she just happens to be there when they come around from one of these so they would come from either here or here, and they're going to hear the fighting that it must have just happened. It makes no sense. This is cool. This is a cool thing that they designed. But giant spiders, they'd be dead. The Thune dervishes, yeah, they got trapped in here, and now they're, doing whatever they're doing. The undead makes sense. That's all fine. But the cleric and the knight make no sense, and the paladin makes no sense. I would put all 3 of them together, but that's just me. But here's something that really, I can't believe how poorly this is written. You have things walking around in here, right? And there are people, the Thune dervishes. So here's L36, this little area right here. So it's a little section. Wooden door, blah, blah, blah. There are 4 leather sacks on the floor. Each contain 400 gold pieces. What? There's a room here, and there's just sacks with 400 gold, so no one's ever picked them up. Why is there treasure just laying on the ground? It's not hidden. There's nothing. He says, oh, look, we walked into a room and there's treasure. This happens multiple times in this place. It's crazy. Even, is it here in L45 or is it, no, L51. So here, these are just cells, L51. And there are 2 small vials in the center of the corridor. It's just there. And just potions. Just random treasure just laid on the floor, not hidden. It's like they ran out of things to do. I'm so confused by this. So those are basically my problems with this module. I've never seen something so poorly put together. It was like they needed to just fill it in with stuff. And they didn't really think about it because they had this other idea with the final part, which is all really nice and well done. But it's like they just haphazardly threw these things together for the party to explore and map and go adventuring. And I found it really bad. And I would have to redo this whole thing. If I was going to run this as a dungeon master, I would fix the maze to make it work. It doesn't work. I would explain what creatures are there and why, but I would mostly just have undead there because they wouldn't be affected by the passage of time. Everything else makes no sense other than the Thune dervishes, which are trapped in there, I guess, and they're still alive. I would... It's just a poorly written module that has some good points. If I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know if I've totally missed something, because I've read this, and you'll see it in the playlist if you want to follow along as I complain as I'm reading. It'll be there for you. So that's my review. The worst module I've ever read, and I'm shocked at how bad it is, because I remember this being a good module. And I think I remember that because when I first read it, the Androsphinx, oh, this is really cool, because I was like, 20-something when I read it. And the Dome of Flight room and the final area is cool, and there are traps that were cool. So that's why I give it a 4 and not a 1 or a 2. there are some things about this module that are very well written and very well thought out. But overall, boy, oh boy. Giant spiders in a tomb that's 1,000 years old. Minotaurs in a maze where you can't see, and how did the Minotaurs get there, and how are they not dead? It's 1,000 years. Where are they? There was other things that I didn't even mention. There's a lot of bad stuff. Anyway, what do you think? If I'm wrong, tell me. Show me or explain to me where I'm wrong if I'm wrong about this. If this module really is good and I've totally missed the point of it, enlighten me. I'd love to know that I'm wrong, because I don't know how this could be this bad. I feel like I must just be missing something, but I don't know what it is because I've read the module. See you later. Bye-bye.